It's the summer of 1971. You're 20 years old, you're at Stanford, and you're flat broke. Then you see a flyer pinned to a bulletin board outside your dorm. Male college students needed for a study of prison life. $15 a day, up to 2 weeks. You fill out some questionnaires, sit through a personality test, and wait. A week later, they call you back. You're psychologically healthy, emotionally stable. You got the job. 75 students applied. 24 were selected. Half will be guards. The other half, chosen randomly, will be prisoners. You drew prisoner. The study will run for 2 weeks in the basement of Jordan Hall on campus. The researcher running it is a psychology professor named Zimbardo. It all sounds perfectly reasonable. Nobody told you about this part. On the morning of August 14th, there is a knock at your front door. It's a real Palo Alto police officer. He reads your rights, handcuffs you, and puts you in the back of a squad car. Your neighbors watch from their windows. At the station, you're fingerprinted, photographed, and blindfolded. Then you're transferred to the Stanford County Jail, which is the basement of Jordan Hall on campus. They strip you. You're given a shapeless smock with no underwear, a tight stocking cap to simulate a shaved head, a metal chain bolted around your right ankle. Then they give you a number. From this moment on, that is your name. You are 8612. The experiment has begun. The guards got their briefing the morning before you arrived. Their instructions were simple: make the prisoners feel powerless. Don't use physical violence. Everything else is on the table. They were given khaki uniforms, mirrored sunglasses, specifically so you couldn't see their eyes, wooden batons they technically weren't allowed to use, and no training whatsoever. From the very first hour, something shifts in some of them. Push-ups for no reason, arbitrary rules. You are addressed only by number, never by name. A few of them, ordinary Stanford students, chosen randomly, just like you, seem to genuinely enjoy it. Professor Zimbardo isn't observing from outside. He has given himself the role of prison superintendent. He is not watching the experiment. He is running the prison. On the morning of day 2, you and the other prisoners have decided you've had enough. You barricade yourselves inside your cells and refuse to come out. The guards respond by spraying fire extinguishers through the cell bars. They strip you naked. They confiscate your beds. The ringleader is thrown into a dark closet, solitary confinement. Then prisoner 8612 starts screaming, crying uncontrollably, throwing himself against the walls. Zimbardo thinks he's faking to get out of the study. He is not faking. They release him. In the debrief, he tells them he genuinely stopped believing it was an experiment. He thought he was actually in prison, after 36 hours. That is day 2 of a planned 14. By day 4, something has happened inside you that is difficult to explain. You have stopped thinking of yourself as a psychology student who volunteered for a study. You have started thinking of yourself as a prisoner. You worry about parole. You follow pointless rules without questioning them. A priest comes to visit the jail. You don't ask him about the experiment. You ask him how to get a lawyer. A fake parole board is set up, and you stand in front of it and plead your case as though your freedom actually depends on the verdict. When they deny you, you don't walk out. You go back to your cell. You volunteered for this. You signed the paperwork. You can leave at any time. And somehow, in 4 days, you have completely forgotten that. Some guards stay decent. Some just do the bare minimum. But a handful have become something else entirely. Prisoners are made to clean toilets with their bare hands. Bathroom breaks are denied. Humiliating chants are forced in the middle of the night. 2 in the morning roll calls for no reason at all. One guard, who the prisoners privately nickname John Wayne, gets creative about it. Inventive. He seems proud of what he's coming up with. None of these guards were screened for cruelty. None showed any particular signs of aggression before the study. They were ordinary students given a uniform, sunglasses, and permission. Zimbardo watches all of this from his office and does nothing to stop it. On day 5, Zimbardo's girlfriend visits the prison for the first time. Her name is Christina. She is also a psychology PhD student. She has no idea what she is about to see. She watches guards march prisoners in a single-file line with paper bags over their heads to use the bathroom. At night, she starts crying. She pulls Zimbardo aside and tells him, "What you are doing to those boys is a terrible thing." They have a massive argument. She tells him she won't see him again if he continues. Over 5 days, roughly 50 people had passed through that basement. Professors, graduate students, a priest, a public defender. Not one of them said stop. She was the only one who reacted with horror. Zimbardo ends the experiment the next morning, day 6 of a planned 14. The prisoners were relieved. Many of the guards were angry. They had been enjoying it. Follow-up interviews revealed that the cruelest guards showed no pre-existing signs of sadism. They weren't bad people who got an opportunity. They were ordinary people given power and permission to use it. The experiment was later criticized heavily for ethical violations. Zimbardo played too many roles. Participants couldn't genuinely consent to a real police arrest. He ignored clear signs of psychological harm in real time. He later admitted he had lost himself entirely in the role of superintendent. He had stopped being a scientist. He had become the warden of an actual prison. But the core finding has never gone away. Put ordinary people in a system that rewards cruelty, give them power, strip their victims of identity, and cruelty is exactly what you get. Every single time. The Stanford Prison Experiment lasted 6 days. It was supposed to be 2 weeks. It's been studied and debated ever since, because what it says about human nature is something we'd all prefer not to be true. I'm Bobo. Subscribe if that made you uncomfortable. Good.